Hi, my name is Sulio Anitalea,
My name is Jess Robles.
I'm Angela Gonzalez.
and for the Steinbeck project assigned to us, we chose to perform a case study on Site 2. So, once again, my name is Sulio Anitalea, and we chose Project Site 2. My mitigating factor I chose was like all similar companies worldwide, all facilities have had labor shortages. However, some facilities and markets have been hit harder than others. Many of the labor shortages and lead times are due to the ongoing COVID/slash economic downturn and economic stress. For my three site aspects, I decided to focus on the second site is in Montana that is in the middle stages of development. The site was acquired through acquisition, so the culture of the organization has been strained due to the mixing of original staff from the company acquired and the integration with Steinbeck leadership. Second is that the facility has been suffering from worker shortages as they have started to integrate more automation. This includes support for automation such as facilities, electricians, maintenance, HVAC, etc. And lastly is that this East Coast facility was developed to support volume growth through optimized processing, production, warehousing, and distribution. Now, for my research finding, I would like to restate my mitigating factor from earlier. Like all similar companies worldwide, all facilities have had labor shortages. However, some facilities and markets have been hit harder than others. Many of the labor shortages and lead times are due to the ongoing COVID economic downturn and economic stress. For a site in its developing phase, it is crucial that top level management confronts this issue as soon as possible. As I had mentioned earlier, the site is already struggling with worker sustainability and shortages as it has begun integrating more automation. With both these factors that are causing a massive strain on worker shortage, the developing site is soon to collapse if management doesn't address the issue. According to the Harvard Business Review magazine by Nunes, automation has the potential to open up many job opportunities, but it's the responsibility of the operations manager to ensure that the integration of automation aligns with the skill set of their workers. One effective way of ensuring that they minimize the amount of employee shortages is by specializing their employees and introducing a new work culture that encourages workers. In the LinkedIn article by Smith, the authors touched on how operations managers and organizational managers may handle properly integrating more automation into the workplace. According to this article, it's important for management to take control and be the acting linchpins, provide their employees with the proper protocols, such as the necessary planning, training, and education needed for employees to thrive in their work environment. It's important for Steinbeck Winery and Spirits to take care of these employee related issues swiftly, as one of the factors of this site specifically was that it was developed to handle and support the volume growth, presumably within the sole facility itself. To establish a steady supply chain management and workforce, Steinbeck Winery and Spirits must be able to insert a safe and effective work culture that promotes organizational success. An online article under business.com titled How to Create a Happy and Productive Work Culture by Dublino claimed that a multitude of ways that organizations could improve the culture and productivity is through actions such as flexibility, reward systems, and even reinforcing through positive initiatives. Implementing these demonstrations would confront and resolve many issues such as employee retainment, trouble with the talent pool, and even internal work silos. Now, how does this relate to my degree? My degree is business administration with a focus in financing. My area of opportunities with jobs can be vast and flexible. According to the Mount Vernon website, finance majors have one of the highest earning potentials in the United States. They can be highly valued individuals whose jobs can range from advisory and examiners to auditors and financial agents. In my previous slide, the main focus of my discussion focused on worker shortages, specifically what Steinbeck Winery and Spirits can do to address the issue of their workforce problem. Now, what does financing have to do with the company's worker shortage? Well, a lot of thought and planning needs to be put under evaluation as an organization makes their choices. Is the financial risk and supply chain risk of transitioning to more automation worth it? Or would the business rather focus on amping up their workforce and take on more labor costs? These are simple monetary questions that I had gathered from reading through Site 2 scenario. These are questions that me, as someone in the financial field, would need to confront and answer for management. We can see this being played out in the real world as well. The NBC News article by Wiles and Constantino had just covered the closing of over 1,000 Walgreens stores soon to occur. Walgreens business had decided to close down these stores that it deemed were underperforming and generally losing cash flow in. It is big decisions like these where businesses and organizations must rely on their finance and accounting team in order to make the best decision for the corporation as a whole. In my previous slide, I also spoke on the importance of a positive work culture and how work culture affects a business's productivity and volume growth. In financing, we measure productivity through general terms in balance sheets, income statements, and even dividends. Of course, productivity and growth takes various factors into account. In the Brookings article by Philippon, the author talks about the growing technological change and how it has impacted businesses economically. And although change is thought to bring revolution, this wave of technological advancements in automation has proven to have introduced many more problems, such as job losses, monopolistic disadvantages, and internal business policies, which have all proven to have slowed down the production and growth of businesses even now.
Hey, my name is Jess Robles, and as Sulio mentioned, our group decided to focus on Site 2. So the factors that I chose to research are first, the second site is in Montana, and it's in the middle stages of development. The site was acquired through acquisition, and the culture of the organization has been strained due to the mixing of the original staff from the company acquired and the integration with Steinbeck leadership. Second one I chose to research was this facility has been suffering from worker shortages as they've started to integrate more automation. This includes support for automation such as facilities, electricians, maintenance, HVAC, etc. And the site is also dealing with many workers petitioning to work remotely, especially within the administration, operational staff, and management at all levels. The company that was acquired had in all the work contracts that staff within those categories could switch permanently to remote work provided that their productivity does not decline. However, the Steinbeck Winery and Spirits LLC has a policy that differs and makes it so that there must be just cause reviewed by management and HR before permanent modality change can be made, and management within engineering and automation is not granted fully remote modality unless it's in relation to a disability accommodation. Lastly, my mitigating factor that I chose to study is that the Steinbeck production facility has a large portfolio of companies, products, and services that are both nationally and internationally located. I'll address marketing and sales planning that needs to be considered for the organization. In my research, I found that 33% of acquired employees leave companies within the first year of acquisition. So this isn't something that's unique to the Steinbeck company. Over the course of 3 years, acquired workers are 15% more likely to leave a company than newly hired employees. Solutions to this include understanding what the company is and the culture of the organization to ensure that the companies merge as seamlessly as possible. I also found that AI and automation is becoming more common in the wine industry as AI becomes more advanced. These technologies are being used to monitor and control growing conditions, protecting grapes and leading to a favorable yield for wine production. AI can also be used to formulate new flavors and blends based on consumer tastes, as well as design bottles that are more suitable for different types of wine for reasons of preservation. This poses a threat to the artisanal and more traditional style of winemaking, as winemakers are trying to find the balance of being able to use these technologies without compromising the experience of drinking wine, especially when wine tasting. I also found that Montana as a whole is currently facing an overall labor shortage. Remote work offers an option for companies to broaden their spectrum of employees and avoid staffing issues that could otherwise slow down production. The Montana Department of Labor and Industry even reports that the benefits of remote work include employees being happier with their overall work experience. This could be beneficial to a company like Steinbeck that faces labor challenges. Steinbeck Winery and Spirits must be willing to try a variety of marketing tactics for its customers and partner companies in different regions. Different social trends will be popular with different groups of people based on demographics such as age, gender, trends, and other factors. Customer focus anticities such as customers' motivationally driven dispositions toward engagement styles likely vary with local cultural values. Steinbeck should consider creating a framework for certain company-wide processes to ensure consistency in their products and services. Certain frameworks can provide structure to a business that can be replicated anywhere in the world and lead to a more efficient process by which the company reaches its goals. Development of such frameworks can enhance analysis of S&OP process performance and a timely identification of deviations from targets for organizations. How does this relate to my degree? I chose a business major with a marketing concentration because I currently work closely with the marketing director at my job, and I've always found her position very interesting. I've had the privilege of helping her on a variety of projects ranging from promotional events to collecting data and creating personal reports for our team. All aspects of my research involve problem solving, which is a key tool for success in marketing. Specifically, the mitigating factor that I chose relates to my degree because it deals directly with marketing and coordinating between different facilities. Additionally, marketing and operations management are both essential to the success of a business. Marketing creates a demand for products or services that the operations department of a business works on, and the two departments work together to manage things like inventories and general day-to-day functions of the business.
I'm Angela Gonzalez, and we chose site number 2 for our project. The site factors that I decided to work on were my mitigating factor would be planning efforts and strategies should also account for and include concepts to manage production automation and controls needed to deliver and monitor product quality, machine performance, systems and machine diagnosis, business continuity, and production work orders from the ERP system. The first site aspect that I chose is that the second site is in Montana, that is the middle stages of development. This site was acquired through acquisition. The culture of the organization has been strained due to the mixing of original staff from acquired company and the integration with Steinbeck leadership. With so many my second site factor that I chose was with so many managers in engineering, automation, and robotics maintenance already working 100% remotely following the previous company's guidelines. This has caused disconnection with employees in a fellowship non-management role in relation to management, creating resentment for many in these roles who are not eligible for remote or hybrid in either of the previous or current company guidelines unless it is for a disability accommodation. The last factor I chose was that this East Coast facility was developed to support volume growth through optimized processing, production, warehousing, and distribution. Again, my site meeting factor is planning efforts and strategies should also account for and include concepts to manage production automation and controls needed to deliver and monitor product quality, machine performance, systems and machine diagnosis, business continuity, and production work orders from the ERP system. Steinbeck Winery and Spirits LLC have a lot to consider during this big change, and planning is a very important part because it will help them get set up the best way possible. They have to take in consideration all these different variables that are vital for their success. Planning efforts and strategies would help the development of the site go smoother and it would be more organized. According to the CFI team in the article strategic planning helps firms prepare proactively and address issues with a more long-term view. Since the culture of organization has been strained due to it being in the stages of development, creating plans and strategies would allow them to become a more organized and work with ease during this period of time. Steinbeck Winery and Spirits are also struggling with employees who have resentment because there has been a disconnection with employees since management has gone 100% remote. Managers need to let their employees know that they are there, but also that they're not going to be micromanaging every single thing they do. They have to be patient and show for their peers, especially when the company is going through many different changes. Let them know how and when they can communicate with them just in case anything is ever needed during business hours. It is important for managers to let their employees know that they are there for them. In the article, Enterprise Resource Planning System and its implication for operation function, the author states the belief that ERP implementation leads inevitably and automatically to improved operations has become something of a universal paradigm in the corporate world. With the projected growth of the ERP market at $66.7 billion by 2003 from $16.7 billion in 1988, most Fortune 500 come. If they create a plan on how to manage production work orders from the ERP system, they could have a program that will help them be more organized and function correctly. How does this relate to my degree? My degree is business administration with a concentration of management entrepreneurship. I decided to study this because I feel like it's something that can give me many different opportunities. According to the article, 8 Branches of Business Management by Nicole Fallon, business management is an umbrella term for any leadership activity that impacts how a company functions and achieves its goals. This relates to the research I did on the Steinbeck Winery and Spirits LLC because they need their management to come in and make plans and strategies on different areas of the business so that they can make sure things can run smoothly, especially during the stages of development. Someone in management needs to be on top of planning and strategies for the company so that the things can be more organized and so that everyone can understand what their part is and how they can do their jobs more efficiently. Even though in this situation it can be more difficult since all the managers and working remotely and that they have to manage the employee remotely, which can be a little difficult because employees might feel disconnected to their manager and they don't know how to handle that. As a manager, it is their duty to let them know that they are available and that they can communicate with them when it is necessary during business hours. A good manager stays on top of what their peers need and how they can help them. In the article, How Remote Work Impacts Managers, Adi Gaskell says, for instance, there was a corresponding need to retain a trust based relationship with employees, but also a desire to effectively supervise their work when they were out of sight.
Sorry about that. Go ahead.
That's okay. Managers were struggling with needing to see what the employees were doing, but also needing to trust that they were working and getting things done. According to the article, What is Business Management and Why It Can Be a Great Career Choice? The author says business management is a process of planning, organizing, directing, and controlling the activities of a business or organization to achieve its goals and its objectives. Business managers must be skilled in leadership, communication, and problem solving, and also must be able to make strategic decisions that can drive the success of the organization. The aspects that I chose to research related a lot to management because of most of them were things that needed to be decided by management in order for employees to be able to work. It was things that needed to be planned and organized in order for it to work efficiently and smoothly. And this concludes our research on the Steinbeck project.